Good morning, good morning, good morning. So I just wanted to stop in since one, it's been a minute since I made a video, and two, I got a short story time. I'm gonna try to make this as short as possible. But for those of you that follow me, should know by now that I have moved back to my hometown. And it has been an experience, y'all. It has been a wild experience. I've learned so many lessons in the matter of less than 90 days that I've been here. And I mean, so many life lessons. And it is shaping me to really understand just where there are lacks in certain areas, you know, areas of improvement in certain things, whether it's in my life, in a business idea that I may have, or whatever the case may be. I'm seeing little things from having these experiences with other people, out here co-creating and shit. And, you know, when you're co-creating, sometimes you and the other person just might not be on the same page. And that's co-workers, relationships, friends, family members, if you have a significant other. And anyways, I'm getting on here because I want to tell y'all about this experience that I had. Um, my daughter's been at this school for a couple of months now, obviously, since we just moved. And it's interesting because, hold on, y'all. I had to check something, but it's interesting because she has had a lot of different experiences herself that she never even experienced at her other schools. So it's almost like she came here and she instantly got labeled because she got put in a situation where she basically had a fight or flight. She chose to fight. So, fast forwarding, I decided to put her in this program that was being offered through her school. It looked like it was offering a lot of benefits. They said they were going to do all of these different things. Like, it basically it was like a mental health program, but basically you have these mentors that are in the school and they help the children. They help them with different coping skills. How to use different tools, whether, you might be in a situation with conflict, remembering how to utilize certain things at those very moments instead of clocking the hell out. And I thought it was very appropriate. They seemed to be like they were very hands on with the kids. And I had took the paperwork on it, but at the time I hadn't even filled it out. And then my daughter had started talking about it because it sounded like her friends were in it. So long story short, I went through the intake process and got my daughter involved or whatever in the program. So she's been in the program now maybe a month. Now, when I first did the intake, I can tell easily when somebody likes me or has a crush on me or is attracted to me or whatever the case may be. But I also don't really feed into it because especially in certain environments, for instance, my daughter's intake, you're about to be a mentor for my daughter, and you're telling me in this intake you have a whole situation. I believe said they were married. Long story short, throughout the process, there has been several different occasions where my daughter has came back. You know how your kids do. They'll bring a story home. And she said certain things, and there's always three sides to a story. So I would take what my daughter says in and I would mental note it, because in certain situations I'm now wondering, like, why are certain conversations even being had with kids? So my daughter started off with like, oh, so and so likes you. And I just, I might ask, like, well, why do you think that? And she'll tell me or whatever. And I'm just like, huh. And then I'll proceed on with my day. Then my baby brings home evidence one day. She's like, Mom, I told you so and so likes you. And I'm like, what are you talking about? So she's thirsty. She done recorded the mentor that's supposed to be there, that's supposed to be in the classrooms with these kids, that are supposed to be helping them do certain things. She has recorded this person basically indirectly saying that he has a crush on me. And it's interesting because even when listening to the conversation started off with a little boy talking to him, and he was like, don't tell me about them boys or something. He's like, tell me about some girls in blue or something. And he shifted the conversation. It totally didn't have to go that route. And that's how my daughter was able to start recording him. And she got all excited when she realized he was talking about her mom, and she told him she was recording. She's like, but I told him I wasn't going to show you. I wasn't going to tell you. So again, I made another mental note of it, but I'm like, at this point, again, why are certain conversations even being had on school hours, on school grounds, period, from an adult to a child? Why is certain things even being discussed? So then my daughter, I made a mental note of it, and then my daughter came home a few more times and told me a couple more stories. Now, she hasn't been going to like the after school program and stuff, but as she's been telling me stories, I'm like, oh, I didn't know, so and so spent so much time in the classrooms. I didn't know the schools had a setup where they were in the classrooms with you guys and blah, blah, blah. And she's telling me certain things, and I'm just listening, and I'm finding out, this individual is cussing at the kids and talking crazy. And it sounds like almost provoking the kids. And, as I'm listening to my daughter say things like, Mom, he did this to so and so, and it almost seemed like he was trying to make her mad. And she say stuff like, Mom, I did decide I don't want to go there no more, because I don't think no adults should be cussing at kids unless you are the parents, and blah blah blah. And I just listened to her points. It is valid, and I had gave her the choice. Like, I didn't want to make the assumption, because I got the one recording, and that wasn't a too big of it. It was a big deal, but I didn't want to make it a big deal I had to like be strategic about it, because I don't want to like freak out or come off like to my child, and then she don't tell me certain things, because I have to think ahead. Like, my daughter has to deal with this person, and I'm like, if this person is comfortable enough to say certain things to these children, he's definitely comfortable enough to start asking questions, or probably make her uncomfortable or feel that energy shift if I address this a certain way. So I had to be real strategic. And what do they say? When it's confusion, you just be still, right? So gave my daughter the opportunity. She didn't want to make a decision right away, slept on it for a couple of days. And I guess she started seeing experiences with her friend, and she just decided, like, yeah, Ma, I want to get out. So I ended up having to withdraw her today. And of course, the only person available from the program today, and it's so funny, y'all, because when I did the intake, it was like 5 people trying to help me. Today, it was only that individual that was available to help me. They had a lot going on this morning too. And I always look at things from an energy perspective, and just try to persevere through certain things and just observe. And as I'm observing, it's a lot of chaos in that school this morning. It was a fight. The first bell hadn't even rung. Mind you, this is like an elementary. Now, junior high is included, but um, it was a fight before the first bell even rung. There was somebody calling off. The sub was late. They was having to bring the kids individually by one, because they be checking their book bags and stuff. And it just sounded very chaotic. The principal wasn't there. It was only the assistant principal. Everybody was running around. And then I had to meet with the person. So as I'm trying to ask for the withdrawal process, he's like, you want to go talk back here? And I'm like, no, that's not needed. I just want to know what's the withdrawal process. And he's like, oh, I can do that. And I'm like, okay, so it's not a process. You just can do that. And I don't have no proof or nothing. She's withdrew, because they bill the insurance company. So he's like, oh no, I can just do that. I'm like, okay, cool. Thanks for making it so simple. But he kept asking me like, why? And I'd say like, it's not working out. And then he'd be like, okay, but what's going on? It's not working out. Is there anything I can do? No. Like, it's like, it's almost like he knew, like, because I felt this nervous energy. And I'm just like, it ain't me, because I don't got shit to be nervous about, withdrawals. But I'm just like, because I can feel energy. I'm very empathic, you guys. My solar plexus was just like on fire with this nervous like energy racing. And I'm just like, it just felt like anxiety, like it didn't belong to me. And it was crazy, because I'm like, yeah, he's guilty by association. He out here wrong, he doing stuff wrong. And I didn't want to come from a place where I'm trying to revoke somebody's job or whatever. But at the same time, you got to look out for the babies, because if my daughter is witnessing this, that means other people's kids is in this program. People are dealing with certain stuff, and that shit's just not cool. So granted, the assistant principal ended up calling me and asking me, kind of like, why am I withdrawing her from the program? And, um, I kind of just explained in so many ways, it's just too much inappropriate things going on. And I gave her some examples, and they run a pretty tight ship at that school. So she basically was saying, like, she's going to address stuff because she's fighting there every day, for those babies. So I feel it. It was just a very uncomfortable decision that I had to make, that I thought was going to be so easy, that turned into something so big. And I'm just like, damn, why did it have to be me? Why did it have to be my baby? Why does it have to be the situation? Because they got, what, 2 more months of school? But I had told the principal, like, the assistant principal, I don't want to be in a position, because at first I didn't want to have the conversation, but I'm just like, no, you gotta do the right thing, Nay. It's for the collective of the kids. It's some shit that's not right going on in there, and he don't need to be around those babies. Having inappropriate conversations, insinuating that you like me to 12-year-olds and 11-year-olds, and it's inappropriate. It's inappropriate. Cussing at these kids is inappropriate. Talking to these kids is inappropriate. We're teaching them certain things, and you're basically teaching them how to be a cheater because they know you got a girl, because they know you went to Miami with her. You're teaching these kids basically to be freaking, I don't want to call them a perv, but like it's just like predator like, and I don't like it. It's like that give candy to a child bait like energy. I don't know. That might be a little overly dramatic and go over a lot of y'all heads, but like, it's not giving. You're a leader. You can teach these kids right. It's giving, you need to go to therapy your goddamn self. You need to do some more healing yourself. You need to do some more inner work. Take some classes. I don't know. You need to work on yourself because it's totally inappropriate. And don't get me wrong, like, people are not perfect, but it ain't gonna be my child. My daughter talking, got her friends laughing and stuff, talking about, is he gonna be stepdaddy? Like, you're giving out wrong messages. That shouldn't even be in their heads. You know what I mean? Especially when you've only really seen me from the intake. And how my daughter even started understanding that he liked me was because he kept bringing me up. Like, if he would see me at the car outside waiting to pick her up, I seen your mom. You don't think these kids are intelligent enough to pick up on stuff like that? All the stuff that they have access to? Come on. Like, come on, y'all. So, point of this video, protect your peace, protect your children, check in with your kids, make sure that it's not no weird things going on with them, or they're not being put in uncomfortable situations or in weird situations, and they don't even know that it's not out of the normal. They thinking that this person is just cool and they talking to them, and no, really, you're doing the most. You're doing too much. This is not okay. So check on your babies. Love on your babies. Be there for your babies. Because sometimes they be put in situations and they don't even know that it's not even okay. You know what I mean? They're being subconsciously taught that this is all right, and they'll fuck around and grow up doing that to somebody else thinking it's cool. And it's not. So talk to your babies. Check in with your babies. Make sure your babies ain't being put in no weird situations. But I just wanted to stop in, share that message with y'all. For all of y'all that keep following me, watching my videos and tuning in and listening to anything I have to say. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. But I got shit to do. So y'all have a wonderful Friday, and I will talk to y'all later.